Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's episode is a special one. We have a seasoned scientist and a breast cancer researcher who's going to talk to us about breast cancer. So don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the channel. Doc, you're welcome to the socials. So
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your work?
Okay, so I'm a molecular geneticist and I work on genetic diseases. Currently, I focus more on cancer. So I work on multiple myeloma, prostate cancer, and breast cancer. So for breast cancer, I'm characterizing genetic risk factors that underpin breast cancer in African women, or particularly in Ghanaian women.
Okay, it sounds really interesting. So I know of this whole Nufu Festival thing going on. You have your shirt on, I have mine on too. Yeah, so I know it's a breast cancer awareness thing, but can you tell us briefly the inspiration behind this event and the ultimate goal that you hope to achieve with it?
Okay, so in Ghanaian women and women in sub-Saharan Africa, the mortality rate associated with breast cancer is disproportionately high, and it's partly due to late presentation. So over 70% of the women are diagnosed late, which is at stages 3 and 4, and they tend to die from it. Now, the cornerstone to a successful treatment when it comes to cancer is early detection. And so, although I'm focusing on the genetics of breast cancer, I was thinking of a way to raise breast cancer awareness, because I figured the fact that the disease is diagnosed late is because people are not that aware or educated on breast cancer. So we decided to establish Nufu Festival to celebrate breast and also raise breast cancer awareness, offer free breast examinations, and then encourage women to conduct their own examinations so that the disease can be detected early. So the ultimate goal of Nufu Fest is to increase awareness by educating Ghanaian men and women on breast cancer, hopefully to mitigate the disproportionately high mortality rate that's associated with breast cancer in our country. And hopefully, when it gets to a point where we are raising enough funds, we'll be able to support, financially support people who are undergoing treatment.
Okay. All right. So can you give us a little bit of background information about this event, like how many times you've held it, possibly the various locations and the reasons behind why you chose all those places?
Okay, so Nufu Fest was established in 2018, and we've held it religiously every year since then. So this will be the 5th year it's being held. We've had it at the Tema Station, at the Madina Market, at the University of Ghana campus. This year we're going to go to a high school, and we'll end up visiting a couple of churches as well. So the reason behind these locations is the fact that we're trying to reach women from different demographics. So we go to the markets, we reach the market women, we go to Tema Station, we meet people from all walks of life. We go to the University of Ghana campus, we get to reach the students, both undergraduates, graduate students, and the workers on the university campus. And then now that we're reaching the high schools, we'll be able to reach very young women who are now, young women coming up. Can
you give us an idea of the number of people that your team has interacted with over the years? Okay,
so for the past 4 years, I guess we just started in the 5th year. I believe we've interacted with a couple of thousands of women.
Oh, that's a huge figure.
Yes, it is. In 2018, I think we examined about 500 women. So if you average that over the years, or you sum that over the years, I think it's a couple of thousands. However, in 2020, because of COVID, we didn't offer the free breast screening for obvious reasons. But now that it's a big thing, we are back to offering the free breast examinations.
So this is obviously looks like a very big event. What goes into organizing something like this?
Okay. So the amount of work that goes into organization has changed over the years. I believe the most work we've done was the first year, where we had to design logos and design artwork, figure out how to find space set up space for breast screening, things of that nature. So I think the first was a bit labor intensive. Subsequently, it's gotten a little bit easier, but usually involves, rentals of tents and canopies, rentals of mannequins or these models for, teaching, educating women on how to conduct breast exam. We do a lot of printing, t-shirts, materials like bookmarks depicting how to conduct self-breast examination. We've given out gifts, so we print out logos, the labels with our logos on there. We've had Zumba in the past. We had to get instructors to, instruct these women. We've had quizzes. We have students who've designed all these questions for the quizzes. We've had raffles where we give out things. We've designed cakes. We've designed breast cakes, and then we've given some out. We also have to think about feeding the volunteers, water, things of that nature. We have to deal with the media, both social media and then the traditional media, TV, radio.
Oh, you do all of that.
Do all that. With the printing includes banners, flyers. We do a bit of advertisements for certain locations like the University of Ghana campus to encourage people to visit our stand. That's part of what we involved in.
This seems like a lot of work. So what about personnel? You do have a team of people helping you out.
So typically we've always had volunteers, wonderful volunteers every year, and they've been really, really supportive and committed to the cause. It gets to a point, students actually start to, approach me even before October. And the majority of the volunteers are students, both undergraduates and graduate students. And then we also get nurses, doctors. We've had psychologists. This year we'll have a survivor on board. And they all help to put out a good, a successful festival.
Okay.
And then I also have every year my teaching assistant at that time.
Okay.
You should usually play a big role in helping to organize the event.
How would you measure the success of any NufuFest event?
Okay. First of all, the number of people who visit us, whether it's for breast screening or to get educated or to just hear about breast cancer. I think the numbers of people we deal with would be one measure of success. Also, the number of women we actually examined, and then the number of cases or potential cases of breast cancer that we detect, or just the abnormalities that we detect that require, hospital attention. And I guess the kind of waves we make on social media, even on TV and on radio, and the feedback from people. Okay. And also, we do conduct a review of people coming in before and after the liver event, and then we try to measure how much education or how much they've imbibed in terms of breast cancer awareness after they've gone through
your entire process. Okay.
Yes,
I believe this is really life-changing stuff because like you said, detecting in a single person is potentially saving a life, saving generations to come. So I think this is a very good thing, a good project to undertake.
Thank you.
Based on the feedback you get, do you feel like your event is sort of having the impact for which it was originally designed?
I do think so, because first of all, when we do the after review, when people visit the our event, I feel that from their responses, you can tell they've gained some knowledge. They've also, I feel like we've been able to teach women how to conduct free breast exam. I think it's having that impact. You can't quite see from the numbers when it comes to the rates, the mortality rates, but I feel it's a process, and it's with time. I think we'll gradually see a decline, in numbers. But hearing back from people who've seen part of our event online. It's all, good feedback.
Yeah. So I have personally been a volunteer of the event in the past years.
Thank you.
And one thing I noticed is that when I talk to some of these market women to approach our stand, and what they usually say is they prefer to not know that they have anything than for them to be told that they have a lump, a potential breast cancer case. So I was wondering, maybe what was the feedback that your team gets from people who, you have some lumps being detected, and what is the process afterwards, after they are being examined?
Okay. So these women are examined by, healthcare professionals.
Okay.
We have nurses and doctors who do the examinations. And once they detect something abnormal, they talk to these women, they reassure them, because first of all, detecting a lump doesn't necessarily mean you have breast cancer.
Okay.
You need to go through the necessary tests. So they are reassured first of all, and then they're given a note to send to, and refer to doctors. So I'm not privy to that interaction between the doctor and the potential patient.
Okay.
But I think a lot of it will be reassuring, and then advising them on what to do right after. And then once they are given the notes, they are, like I mentioned, they are referred to a hospital where they now are properly diagnosed.
Okay.
So they get to know if they have breast cancer or not.
Okay. What are some of the challenges that you've had to deal with, mainly with organization and also just execution of, plans that you set out to execute, and then also on the field, some of the challenges that you or your team have encountered so far?
Okay. So first of all, the funding. So the funding, I'll say that limits the number of locations that we're able to, So I think that'll be the thing about the funding. Well, the money is a big thing, because if we had more money, we'd definitely be able to do, more areas and, stuff like that.
So you are open to more funding?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've had some money from my grant and some benevolent institutions. We've had money from Yamachi. We've had money from the Little Cow. And I think the limitation here for us is the funding to, reach more people or reach more locations. So I guess every year we are limited by the amount of money we have, and so we then just do a few locations. But I'm sure subsequently, when we manage to raise more funds, we'll be able to reach more locations.
Okay.
But I guess right now that's the only thing.
Okay. So I know markets are usually very populated places. So how do you get big enough spaces to put up a whole tent, probably a number of them, sitting places for those who, come and go?
Okay, so what we do is we usually write to the station or the market.
Okay.
So they have, they have people who oversee the day-to-day run of the market. So we write to them for permission, and then they give us the space. And we try not to encroach on, the neighboring, sellers, their space, and then that's typically how it works.
Okay, all right. So
even on campus, we do have to seek permission before we set up.
I've been at a couple of new festival events, and so
Thanks for volunteering.
Thank you. At the moment, we'll go to one of the events, to the field, and have a look at how the entire process takes place. So we'll be right back.
Spyzee, take you rap to the Yesu Adom. From January to December, we give you glory, Abba Father. Every ankana ye nibio, Yesu Adom. From January to December, we give you glory, Abba Father. Just by the grace of God, everything there on point. His name is Elohim, His grace is sufficient, He be the boss. Every good thing, He be God, He do.
Hello everyone, my name is Bright from WAGBIP. Currently we are a popular public station. So our purpose here is to create awareness for breast cancer, especially among women, and to screen for breast cancer in women. Because we are stationed at one particular place, my role that I play is that I go out to the market women, interact with them, talk about breast cancer, and convince them to come to our venue to, partake in the screening.
So when people come, we welcome them by giving them this branded sanitizer with the NUFU logo. Then from there, we make them take a seat. Then with the aid of this breast dummy, we educate them on how to self-examine themselves. Just a little bit of education. We want to save the boobs, So from there, we give them a little bit of comic relief as they sit. We don't just allow them sit. We give them questions from balloting. The ballot to get questions, and if one is able to answer his or her question, he or she wins the cake. The cake is in the shape of a booth as well. From there, they are taken to the booth where our trained medical personnel examine their boobs and then give them medical advice afterwards. So from there, one can take his or her leave or just hang around.
So in addition to the free breast screening, we are also performing free COVID-19 tests, blood group tests, and malaria tests for the people.
So the overall aim of NUFU Fest is to create awareness on breast cancer in Ghanaian women and men. Mostly because breast cancer is the most diagnosed cancer in women in Ghana and the leading cause of cancer-related deaths and hospitalization. Now, aside the education on breast cancer, NUFU Fest is also an avenue for young ones to learn the spirit of volunteering. So basically, NUFU Fest aims to create awareness on breast cancer and also give young people the opportunity to volunteer.
Welcome back. Hopefully you've had a feel of how the event takes place, and we'll continue with the rest of the interview. So how should we see NUFU Fest, say, in the next 5-10 years from now? What's the future of this event?
So the hope is that NUFU Festival gets bigger, for example, and we would like to reach more areas, not only in Accra but outside Accra. We would like to reach more people in the country and basically try to help reduce the mortality rate, associated with the disease in the country. And we are hoping that in the future, once we get a lot more funding, we'll be able to financially support women who have been diagnosed with breast cancer, who do not have the means to, complete treatment, which is one of the problems that are associated with, breast cancer in the country. Some women are not able to afford the treatment, and then they just vanish. So hopefully, once we get to a point where we are big enough and get enough money, we will be able to support women financially.
Okay. So what is your ultimate goal, as a geneticist focusing on breast cancer? What do you dream, what motivates you to get up and go to work, in the morning?
Yes. So I'm hoping that, first of all, once we figured out the genetic landscape of breast cancer in Black women, we'll be able to understand the disease better in our population, because most genetic studies have been conducted in Caucasians. So now we'll be able to understand the genetics of breast cancer in Black women, and then once we're able to understand it, we'll be able to identify new therapeutic targets, so that we can design precision medicine that will be more suited for our population, and definitely more effective, and that will hopefully increase our survival.
So we've come to the end of the video. I hope it has been educative enough. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, most importantly subscribe and share the video with all your friends. So I'll see you in the next video, and bye.